Hey everybody, we're back with another episode of How to Play Minetest, and boy has it been a while. My computer crashed and then YouTube changed all their everythings, and it was like, okay, I don't have time right now. Life sort of happened. But we're back. I got my computer up and running again, and nice watermelon, guys. That's cool. And so we were able to get things cranking again here. In this episode, we're going to visit the Tower of Babel one last time. It's essentially complete, so we'll just do a quick fly through here so everything loads, and then we'll switch off the fog so we can get a good look at this puppy. Now, for those who are joining us for the first time, this is archaeologically correct. It is 100% to scale as far as the archaeological evidence will allow us, and it's huge. It's really big. So hop out of fly mode here. Full viewing range, so it's literally up to the clouds. It's that big of a tower here. It had 3 different staircases going up like these. And really I should come back and put actual stairs in here. And then we had stairs coming up each side like this. And then this is the part that's maybe not necessarily accurate to the original Tower of Babel. We only have a picture of the outside of it and a footprint on the ground. That's what we got as far as the Tower of Babel is concerned. So I just made the stairs kind of circle around like this, so we can work our way up here. And you can see I left the inside hollow because it was just taking a very, very long time, and I only did stairs around one side just to keep things simple. But this design is called a ziggurat, which has a very big base layer and then smaller tiered layers on top of that. So we'll zip up to the top here as fast as we can. And here we are at the top finally. I wasn't quite sure how to do this part, so I just kind of have it come up on top here. Now this thing is so stinking huge that if we go over here and look at Hogwarts, which is like 12, 15 blocks up from sea level, we're actually looking down at it, and this building started at sea level. So if that gives you any idea of the scope and the scale of this building, it's just stinking huge. And it had this big old temple structure on top, which we've just sort of lit up with lights because we didn't know what else to do. And I'm pretty much going to call this one done. I may come back and put actual stairs in, but for my purposes, just seeing the scale of the thing, this is it. This is what I was out to build, was this basic structure like this. And you can see it's massive, absolutely massive. I was toying with the idea of leveling it kind of around the bottom here so that we can, I always forget my map. So you can kind of get an idea of walking around the bottom what it would be like. But another reason I stopped playing for a little bit was I'd kind of lost the joy of Minetest. Just being able to build stuff, and I finally isolated the issue when the new release came out, which is if you look up here in the corner, we're on 0.4.17.1. Apparently they're subdomaining it anyway. But what I realized is in creative mode there's nothing to work for. Nothing means anything. You just grab the blocks and you build. And that was what had kind of killed things for me, was there was no real meat to the game anymore. So when the new release came out, I created a new world, and it plopped me right in the middle of nowhere. I had no fly privileges, I had nothing, and it kind of gave me a nice little kick in the pants to say, you know what, it's still fun, you just need to not play creative as much. So that being said, we're actually going to hop over into my new world that I'm playing with my kids, and we'll see what we got going on there. So this is our new one here. And yes, I'm running in server mode because when we play, my computer is the server. So the only mod we've added, okay, that's a lie. We've added like 3 mods to this. There's no monsters. We're using the default beds. And we have, of course, the crafting guide because my kids don't know any of the recipes yet. So that's in here. And there's also a handful of other ones. There's armor and the skins. I forget which one it is. But when this level started, I started right here. Starting spawn. And there was a jungle tree right here. You can still see part of it. And that was it. And I was stuck in this lovely little caldera thing. No tools, nothing. And it really kind of woke me up and said, you know what? This is why you started playing. You started playing because it was hard. Because you had to earn everything. And once we got back to that having to earn everything, all of a sudden it became fun again. Because there was a point, there was a purpose. And we started by growing a whole bunch of cotton down here so that we could get beds, but then we couldn't dye the wool because we're using the default beds. And it was bad. It was bad news. So we ended up digging a tunnel out each direction. Sorry, there somewhere is the tunnel that goes out that way. That's the tunnel that goes out that way. I think we have to go up here to go out that way, and then right through the back of my house to go out that way. And from there we were able to start finding and building and growing things. We found out you can't grow stuff under dirt. It has to be fresh to the sunshine. So we're probably going to be cutting these tiers back or rearranging them so they kind of spiral their way around. Looks like we started one right there already. We added a waterfall here because my daughters decided, hey, we want to play Minetest. So we've added them into this picture. So we've got all our houses kind of on this ledge right here. And then we started out with our growing platforms out this way. And one of my sons just likes to jump all over the place. He plays on his tablet rather than on a computer. And so we decided to build a diving board for him since he just likes to jump everywhere. Oh, we got some acacia and some apple trees. So he could dive off into here whenever he wanted to, and there's a wooden one over there as well. It's quite the rush when you jump off, by the way. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo, sploosh. So that's kind of where we're at in this world. And it has been a lot more fun. Like my kids keep saying, Dad, you need to add this in. Dad, you need to add that in. And the answer is nope. Nope, we are doing this old school. One of the problems we had early on was where do we put our bones when my son jumps off a cliff and dies. So we made this little crypt looking thing here. And I actually had to go into fly mode just to find where we could get regular trees and other things. So zip right down here. By the way, once you have the run privilege, you can just push E and your guy runs, we discovered. So we dug our way out here. Don't run while going down, it hurts a lot. But you can run going up. As long as you stop before you go flying off the end of everything. So we found all this savanna, and then another tiny stretch of forest, and then we end up, or jungle, and then we end up in forest. So it took us a long time to get beds figured out, even though we had plenty of cotton right off the top. We still haven't found papyrus yet. Like, it's it's been a long slug through this one. We barely got around to building a road through here because otherwise the jungle grass spawns randomly in here and then you can't see anything. So even using my post method like that, which you guys have probably seen in previous episodes, even using that, it was really hard to get through the jungle unless it was nighttime. So I'll show you, here we are into some actual forest. There's a ruin which they added, I forget which version, where they would just throw random bits of pre-built stuff in there just to make things interesting. So you can see the cobble, or the mossy cobblestone, this is all pre-generated by the computer. So you can go all the way down in here. So all of that was pre-generated, which is fun. But again, we haven't found papyrus yet. We just barely got to this point here. And I think when I zoomed around in fly mode, there is a bit of snow close by here as well. But all this was done without creative mode. This was all back in build it yourself, survival mode, whatever they call it. And it was actually a lot more fun. It was actually interesting, intriguing, it was hard. And that's what I liked about Minetest to start with, was that you earned everything. And so that's kind of the direction I've gone back to. Creative mode was fun for a bit while we were working on Hogwarts and Tower of Babel, some of those bigger builds where it's like, okay, just hand me blocks so that I can get this thing done. But now, just kind of getting back to my roots and playing in a way that's fun for me. And that, I think, is really the key difference between Minetest and Minecraft. Minecraft, here's our game, play it or don't play it, but you have to play with these minimum things in it. Minetest, you add whatever you want. You make the game fun for you. And so that is kind of my message for this video, is don't be so worried about having access to all the blocks all at once. Work your way up, have fun with it. If you enjoy creative mode, go for it. If you enjoy survival mode, just do survival mode. There's no right or wrong way to do Minetest. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and some of my thoughts getting back in here. I'm probably not going to post videos as often because I've got some other projects that I'm working on that are taking up more time, but I will still try to post them regularly, maybe every other week instead of every week, or once a month, something like that, just to keep the channel going here and also to get some of your guys' input and keep tabs on what's new. So anyway, we will catch you guys next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, go build something.